Hey, what's up guys? It's GranularSumo here, and I've got another tutorial for you today. It's using Operator this time, and it's gonna be how I made this like Culprate kick bass kind of thing. And I also time stretched it, so you could use it more for like kind of filler stuff. Anyway, it's a pretty simple patch. I've resampled it a couple of times. I didn't really need to, but I thought I was just going to use it when I got to this sound here, but I decided to do more stuff to it. I could have just done it all in one chain here, but I sort of came back to it afterwards. Anyway, so it just starts off with this simple operator patch. I'll just make sure I don't forget to turn that on. And I also have to arm it. It's probably pretty quiet. So basically, it's just a square wave to begin with. The course is set to 0.5. Then there's a sine wave being fed into it. It's at minus 25 dB, and then another sine wave that's at minus 18, but the fine has been turned up to 8. Then over here I've turned the pitch envelope on, set the decay to 291 milliseconds. The initial value is plus 29 semitones, and the peak value is plus 26 semitones. And then that's everything in the operator patch. So then I threw a saturator on there. It's on the medium curve setting. I turned the drive up to 14.3 dB, and I turned the output down to minus 14.9 dB, so it's just so it just picks up some of the characteristics of the saturator. Also, I turned on soft clipping. So then I bounced it out to audio. And then I have this little chain here. So I started by, if I just turn this off quickly, I started by throwing an amp on there. It's on the blues setting like I normally do. And I've turned the dry wet up to 26%. So that sounded like this. God damn it, I'm not doing good at remembering to turn those on today. Okay, so then I have this EQ that's just boosting. It's got a big boost in the around 340 hertz range. I guess I thought it just sounded a bit cooler like that. There wasn't any specific reason. I don't normally like boosting things too much because I find I end up going over the top a lot of the time, but this time it didn't turn out too bad, so I left it there. So then I have this phaser. The dry wet's turned down to 22%. Then I just messed with the frequency and feedback a little bit. I decided that there sounded kind of cool. So I turned on the LFO. The amount is set to 23%, so it's just coming through a little bit. I turned the rate onto the sync mode, and I set it onto the 112 setting. I don't know how you'd say that. And then the phase is set to 360 degrees, so it doesn't, so there's no like panning or anything. It doesn't swap speakers at all from left to right. It's just staying in the center. So that sounded like this. It's kind of subtle, but I think it did make a bit of a difference. So then I have this, which is just 3 filters in an audio effects rack in parallel. So I have this low pass filter that's not doing anything, it's just there to keep the lows intact. Then I have a notch that I've just randomly automated the frequency, and a bandpass filter that I've also just randomly automated the frequency. So that sounded like this. There's a lot more movement now. So then it's going through a saturator, turned it onto the wave shaper. So all I did here was I turned the curve up only a tiny bit, to 3%, turned the depth up to 44%, the period is at 7%, and the linearity is at 82.8%. And I didn't do anything else, so that sounded like this. That's kind of subtle as well. So then I have this reverb. This one's really subtle. It's turned on to the high quality mode, turn the dry wet down to 23%, and so I've got a really short decay time. It's at 377 milliseconds, and the size is at 2.74. So like you can barely even hear it, but I think it just makes it sound a bit more like roomy and sort of organic. Like if I turn that all the way up, you'll be able to hear what it's doing. So that's why I just set it to about 23% dry wet. And that's literally it. That's it for the initial sound here. That's how I got to this part. And then I just decided to do some time stretching with it to show you that you can use it for other things as well as just like a standard bass sound. Like you could chop it up and put fades on it and things to give your track like more tension and things. So all I did there, like it's really, really simple. I didn't I only spent I literally just did like 2 things just to show you that you could use it for other things as well. So I just turned it onto the Pro warp mode, doubled the initial, the original tempo twice. And then, so all I did was I cut this second hit, turned it onto the tones warp mode, and then put a big fade on it like that, and then cut the last one off. But I think it might sound okay with the last one actually. Yeah, so like you could do other interesting things with that. Like you could throw more filters on there, maybe do some bit crushing and throw more phasers and things. You could probably end up like turning it into like a weird sound effect kind of thing. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you how I did that quickly as well. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you guys found it helpful, and be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff if you did. I'll catch you guys next time.